Hi.
Ready?
Ready.
Hello, everyone. Today we are doing lesson 126. All that I give is given to myself. Let us begin. Alex?
Lesson 126. All that I give is given to myself. Today's idea, completely alien to the ego and the thinking of the world, is crucial to the thought reversal that this course will bring about. If you believed this statement, there would be no problem in complete forgiveness, certainty of goal, and sure direction. You would understand the means by which salvation comes to you and would not hesitate to use it now. Let us consider what you do believe in place of this idea. It seems to you that other people are apart from you and able to behave in ways which have no bearing on your thoughts, nor yours on theirs. Therefore, your attitudes have no effect on them, and their appeals for help are not in any way related to your own. You further think that they can sin without affecting your perception of yourself, while you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation and at peace.
Yeah, it's true. That's what we're taught to think and believe, that we can look out on our brothers and judge them continuously and have no impact on ourselves, not recognizing that every time we judge them, we are judging ourselves. And as it says here in that first paragraph, this idea is completely alien to the ego. The ego has you thinking you have to seek out there in the world for anything and everything, and yet you don't ever find it. The ego would also have you thinking that by giving, you have to give to get, and that you have to take from your brother in order to have for yourself. All those things are lies. They're not true. And what they're trying to show you here is that it's the extension of that giving without having an expectation to receive. But recognizing that the more you judge your brother, the more you judge yourself. The more you deny, the more you deny yourself. It's all the same. Please continue.
When you, quote, forgive a sin, there is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one unworthy, merely to point out that you are better, on a higher plane than he whom you forgive. He has not earned your charitable tolerance, which you bestow on one unworthy of the gift, because his sins have lowered him beneath a true equality with you. He has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. Thus is forgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld. Unmerited, withholding it is just, nor is it fair that you should suffer when it is withheld. The sin that you forgive is not your own. Someone apart from you committed it, and if you then are gracious unto him by giving him what he does not deserve, the gift is no more yours than it was his sin.
Then was his sin, yeah. It's interesting because that's the twisted egoic logic. That belief that you can judge your brother and that if you forgive him, you're being charitable and tolerant. When in truth, it was your judgment that you're trying to forgive. It wasn't what your brother did or didn't do. And that's the twisted thinking that's going on here, that they're trying to point out to you. That in everything, you're the one holding the judgments. trying to control what your brother does or does not do. And as it says there in paragraph 4, thus is forgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld. Now, see, what that brings to mind, folks, is the controlled manipulations I would get from my family when I was growing up. That if I did not conform to their dictates, I would have their love and their acceptance withheld from me. That I would be punished and ostracized and singled out if I did not conform to their dictates. And that is what the ego would have you do. Withholding, believing that your brother is undeserving because they have sinned in your eyes. That sin is your own judgment, folks. Please continue.
If this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. It is an how do you pronounce that?
Eccentricity.
It is an eccentricity in which you sometimes choose to give indulgently an undeserved reprieve.
Reprieve.
Yet it remains your right to let the sinner not escape the justified repayment for his sin. Think you the Lord of heaven would allow the world's salvation to depend on this? Would not his care for you be small indeed if your salvation rested on a whim? You do not understand forgiveness as you see it. It is but a check upon overt attack, without requiring correction in your mind. It cannot give you peace as you perceive it. It is not a means for your release from what you see in someone other than yourself. It has no power to restore your unity with him to your awareness. It is not what God intended it to be for you.
Yes. So what it's talking about there, folks, and what it's bringing to my mind as the example is how I had to look at the people that molested and raped me. And those situations, how I had chose to judge it and accept the judgments about them. And when I thought I had forgiven them, it was brought to my attention that I was still holding judgments of them. Even though I was recognizing I had done no wrong, I still could not forgive them as of yet in those moments, as much as I thought I had. It wasn't until I chose to ask why they did what they did, so I could forgive them, that I was shown the truth, that like me, they blindly followed and believed whatever was being taught to them. Whatever they were experiencing, they believed that defined who they were. And like me, they had chosen to never question everything they were being taught, even when it came down to molestation and rape. It was done to them, so they figured it should be done to me. In that way, it's that understanding that I was given, that until I understood that they were simply repeating a pattern that they had been taught without question, that I could finally let go of my belief that they arbitrarily chose to do everything they did because they just wanted to be mean and angry and nasty toward me. Those were the kinds of judgments that I held. That they were just these evil beings. And it wasn't until I could see the truth that they, like me, blindly followed and believed the things that were told to them. And they didn't question them. I've talked about how when I was a teenager, I left the Catholic Church and I walked away from God. Part of the reason for that, folks, was because of all the crap that I had experienced up to that point. And the fact that every time I talked to a minister or a priest or any of them, they basically told me that that's just how it is and how it should be. They condoned it and told me I was wrong for speaking out. And it was that kind of stuff that opened my eyes to the truth of the lies I was being fed that had me walking away from the church at that time of my life. And it wasn't until I could look at those things that I experienced and recognize them for what they were and let them go and see them as innocent, as simply repeating something they had been taught, that I could truly forgive and recognize that everything I had thought had happened did not. It was just a pattern being repeated. It was an experience, nothing more. Please continue.
Not having given him the gift he asks of you, you cannot recognize his gifts and think he has not given them to you. Yet would he ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Could he be satisfied with empty gestures and evaluate such petty gifts as worthy of his Son? Salvation is a better gift than this, and true forgiveness, as the means by which it is attained, must heal the mind that gives, for giving is receiving. What remains as unreceived has not been given, but what has been given must have been received.
Which comes into play here, folks, with what I just shared with you. I have received healing and understanding of the things that I have been through. And because I have taken in those lessons and learned them and healed from them, I now extend what I have been given, what I have received, to you, so that I may receive it back again. Please continue.
Today we try to understand the truth that giver and receiver are the same. You will need help to make this meaningful because it is so alien to the thoughts to which you are accustomed. But the help you need is there. Give him your faith today and ask him that he share your practicing in truth today. And if you only catch a tiny glimpse of the release that lies in the idea we practice today, this is a day of glory for the world. Give 15 minutes twice today to the attempt to understand today's idea. It is the thought by which forgiveness takes its proper place in your priorities. It is the thought that will release your mind from every bar to what forgiveness means and let you realize its worth to you. In silence, close your eyes upon the world that does not understand forgiveness and seek sanctuary in the quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. Repeat today's idea and ask for help in understanding what it really means. Be willing to be taught. Be glad to hear the voice of truth and healing speak to you, and you will understand the words he speaks and recognize he speaks your words to you. As often as you can, remind yourself you have a goal today, an aim which makes this day of special value to yourself and all your brothers. Do not let your mind forget this goal for long, but tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in him. Then spend a quiet moment opening your mind to his correction and his love, and what you hear of him you will believe, for what he gives will be received by you.
Absolutely. So what it's talking about there, folks, is that as you open yourself and you give over everything that you are experiencing to Holy Spirit and accept his truth in its place, you extend that to your brothers, just as I'm doing with you, just as I spoke about. As I have received it, I then give it, so I may receive it again. I become not only the giver, but the receiver, all in the same breath. As it's given to me, I give to you. So as I receive it, I give it. And I recognize that everything that I give to you all is giving it to myself. Because as I give it to you, it reinforces it within myself, because I recognize the truth of it, how it has been true for me. I hold nothing back. I share all aspects. And I do so fearlessly. So they're asking you guys to close your eyes and in silence a couple of times today, throughout the day, to shut out the world as you know it to be, to let go of everything you think and believe yourself in this world and your brothers to be, and lay all those false beliefs aside and accept the truth that he lays before you as you question all you have been thinking and believing and perceiving around you. It's questioning, folks. Recognizing that in those moments you are judging whatever's happening. That it's not what your brothers are doing out there that's the issue, but it's your choice to judge it, that is. All right, folks, that was lesson 126. All that I give is given to myself. Thank you for joining us today. This is the weekend, so there is no correlating chapter text. Hugs, love, light, and blessings on your journey, my brothers. You are loved. We love you. Please be the light you are meant to be. Please be the light we know you to be. Please be the light we see you to be. Please choose to be the light. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sabrina Reyenga.
And my name is Alex Reyenga.
Please do the work, folks. Only you can do this work. Hugs, love, light, and blessings on your journey. Have a glorious day.